The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is America's best seaside amusement park. Located in Northern California, this is a beautiful park mere feet from the beach, and it also happens to have a robust attraction lineup. You have a delightful mix of old classics plus modern rides. When paired with the atmosphere, this place is special, and I'll explain why in this review. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk opened back in 1907 in, if you couldn't tell by the name, Santa Cruz, California. This makes it the oldest remaining amusement park in the Golden State. The park itself has been named a California Historic Landmark, and two of its oldest rides in the Giant Dipper roller coaster and the Loof Carousel have both been named National Historic Landmarks. This place oozes charm and history while also keeping up with the times. The atmosphere here is incredible. It is one of the park's biggest strengths. A lot of seaside parks can feel like glorified carnivals, but this place feels much cleaner and classier. Do not expect much in terms of theming, but the presentation is excellent. Rides have fresh coats of paint and vibrant lighting packages, and the energy here is infectious, both by day and night. Like many boardwalk parks, this one doesn't have much land available. The park covers just 24 acres, and the main midway forms a long thin strip, so rides are packed on top of each other, in some instances, quite literally. The end by Undertow has an upper deck of sorts with a few rides above a concourse. Then the other end is a lower deck with some rides going beneath the pier. Rides are constantly cycling in close proximity to each other, which is sensory overload in a good way. Then you also have the location. The park is adjacent to a large and beautiful beach. This has two advantages. First, you get some stunning views from within the park, especially on the taller rides. Second, the park feeds off the beach. Santa Cruz becomes a bustling beach community in the summer months, making this park by default a popular destination. The beach boardwalk does two smart things to capitalize on this traffic. First, the park has multiple entrances and exits. Some take you directly down to the beach. Second, the park has free admission. A lot of seaside parks do this, and it's a wise choice. This allows people to come and go as they please between their time at the beach, riding a few rides, playing a few games, or grabbing a bite to eat. If you want to ride anything, you have two options. One, you can purchase individual points. These are loaded onto a card. You can either purchase these at a manned ticket booth or at several kiosks scattered about the park. Each point costs $1. Rides then cost 5 to 8 points each. If you plan to ride a lot of attractions, and there's a good chance you will, I strongly recommend an all-day wristband, and it is wise to buy these in advance online because you'll get a $5 to $20 discount. As of 2023, ride wristbands can cost as little as $40, or as much as $70 if you visit on a summer weekend. It is critical to check this park's hours before visiting. While the park is open year-round, it may be weekend only in the quieter months, i.e., the times of year when people are not frequenting the beach. The park is typically open daily from Memorial Day weekend all the way until mid-August, with late hours too. This place is incredible at night. But the most important thing to check on the calendar is ride availability. If you visit November through March, the park is what they call limited rides. You can also find this in some weekdays outside main season. On limited rides days, the park only advertises 8 to 10 rides being available. That is less than 1/4 of their total ride lineup. Not only that, the exact rides that are open are not posted online. I would rather deal with the increased summer crowds to experience this park to the fullest. The biggest annoyance visiting this park in the summer months is the beach traffic. This causes two issues on your arrival. First, the side roads approaching the park can become gridlocked for the final mile, especially on weekends. Second, it can be quite difficult to find parking near the beach boardwalk. There is street parking, but it seems darn near impossible to find, and I also don't know the rules for visitors. I have always looked for a lot. The lots by the beach and park will often fill up in summer. That's even with the park charging upwards of $30 on weekends. Rates are half of that if you visit on weekdays or days with limited rides open. I strongly recommend visiting early if you want one of these spots. There is also a lot at Government Center. This is about a mile walk from the park, and there's a complimentary shuttle bus that runs every 25 minutes. The park advertises this lot is free, but I recall having to pay $10 last year on Labor Day weekend, and it is worth noting this had plenty of availability even in the mid-afternoon on a holiday weekend. Meanwhile, the lots closer to the park all had signs saying they were full for the day. You can also look into staying at a hotel or beach house within walking distance of the park. There are plenty available, and they often include parking, but they can be quite pricey in the summer months due to demand. What about crowds inside the park? I have only visited this park on summer weekends. The Midway has been swarmed, but ride lines have been fairly manageable as a whole. Most lines have been 10 to 15 minutes or less. A lot of that is because of the large ride lineup and also because of the operations. Employees load the rides here quite quickly. You often find that with parks offering pay-per-ride options because they want to maximize their profits. The two worst lines here by far are easily Undertow and Haunted Castle. I've seen full queues for these rides, and they can take 45 to 60 minutes due to their small vehicles. Ride these first if you arrive at opening. It is also wise to hit Double Shot and Giant Dipper earlier in the day. I have seen those get 20 to 30 minute waits in the mid-afternoon. With Giant Dipper specifically, the line may look long with the outdoor switchbacks, but it's worth noting there isn't much indoor queue space. And if the park runs 2 trains, which they will on busy days, the line moves swiftly. Moving on to the attractions, I want to discuss loose articles, especially since many people visiting this park may have a beach bag with them. The park does have paid lockers if you don't want to lug the bag around, but most rides will let you store your things on the ride platform. But it is worth noting how the 2 major coasters handle bags. Giant Dipper shockingly has you take them with you. The bag will sit at your feet. While it will not be thrown from the train, they will shake around, so keep that in mind if you have any valuables in there. Undertow is the only ride with a mandatory locker system, as nothing can be stored on the ride platform. Now let's get into the fun stuff, the ride lineup. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is well above average for a seaside park. Their lineup is extremely deep, especially when you factor in those non-coasters. I love how this park has maintained some rare old school rides while also phasing in new attractions. It has allowed the park to keep up with the times and offer a wonderful balance. I'll start with the coasters. The park only has 3, but the headliner alone makes this park worth a visit for coaster enthusiasts. Giant Dipper is easily the park's most popular ride. This is a nearly 100-year-old wood coaster from Prior and Church, and is an exceptional ride. The park takes excellent care of this ride, so it's quite smooth despite its age, and it has some really good forces too. There are some sharp airtime moments, even giving some strong ejector pops. And if you're on the smaller side, these are enhanced by the Morgan trains having single position lap bars. Then the turns also deliver some of the most intense laterals of any wood coaster. You are mercilessly thrown and pinned sideways in every change of direction. See my review for more, but this is one of the best classic woodies out there. Undertow is the park's family coaster. This is a Mauer SC2000 spinning coaster. The large first drop is fun, and I also like the horseshoe turn midway through the ride. But this ride does have 2 flaws. One, the capacity is atrocious. It is so bad that I often skip it. 2, this is a lot of trim brakes disrupting the pacing and spinning. The final coaster here is Sea Serpent. This is a really good junior coaster from Myler. It has a custom layout that uses the terrain, a surprising feature for a boardwalk park, and the turns also have some solid laterals to them. This park does have a noticeable gap though. They could really use a major steel coaster, specifically one that inverts. Something like a Gerstlauer Eurofighter would work wonders here, and I would love to see the park address this issue in the future. The park does have some rides that take you upside down at least. That is because this park has one of the deepest and strongest flat ride lineups out there. There is something for everyone. Typhoon is an ARM swinging inverting pendulum. This ride has some fantastic hang time, especially in the slower revolutions. Rockoplane is an old school Irely flat ride that can be quite intense if you know what you're doing. If you throw your weight around, you can flip very fast, and it's particularly thrilling if you flip over the top, getting some weightlessness. Alternatively, you can hold the brake to get some crazy hang time. Fireball is a satisfying frisbee. This one may not be as intense as the larger models, but has several airtime pops while offering sweet views of Giant Dipper. Double Shaw is an S&S drop tower. It's just 12 stories tall, but that allows it to tower over most things at the boardwalk. So you get a fantastic view of the beach in town. Then you also have some nice forces too. The launches are weak, but you get strong ejector airtime at the apex on the two main launches. Then this park has a stacked fleet of spinning rides, both old and new. I want to highlight two in particular. First, there's a Zamperla disco named Shockwave. I enjoy the blend of spinning and rocking on these rides already, but this one is extra sweet because it's on an elevated platform giving some fun views of the beach. But the most dizzying ride here by far is Wipeout. Do not miss this ride because it's tucked in the corner. This is a Huss breakdance place indoors. Not only that, but it is in a cramped room with lights and music. The electric atmosphere combined with the forceful rotations results in a super disorienting ride. This is a must if you love spinning rides. The final flat ride of note is the 1911 Loof Carousel. This ride is a beauty. It is housed in a gorgeous pavilion that features dozens of hand-carved horses. Then you have the melodious band organ blasting tunes. And most importantly, this is one of the few carousels that still lets riders reach for the brass ring. It adds a fun challenge to a familiar ride, especially because the outside horses still move up and down on this one. Then you also have a secondary task to try and throw a ring into a clown's mouth afterwards. A successful toss results in an alarm going off, which is quite rewarding. Then kids will find a handful of smaller rides exclusively for them. These are peppered throughout the park rather than being clustered in a single area. Another area where this park excels is in the dark ride department. This park has 4 available. That's a fantastic figure for any park, especially a boardwalk one. Haunted Castle is the best of the bunch. This Sally dark ride is filled with great effects. The physical sets are nicely fleshed out, and these are complemented by clever uses of screens and air blasts that keep riders on their toes. There are some good jump scares in here. Cave Train Adventure is a bizarre journey that feels like the caveman version of Six Flags Over George's Monster Mansion. You have these colorful and busy sets with cavemen doing a little bit of everything. It is a weird and entertaining journey, and you may need a few rides to see everything. Ghost Blasters is a Sally shooting dark ride, similar to the Boo Blasters rides at the Cedar Fair parks. The sets are mostly basic 2D figures, but the targets are plentiful and well maintained. Then you have Fright Walk. This is a haunted walkthrough. I have not done this one, so I cannot speak to the quality from personal experience, but it does have good reviews on Yelp if that's something. Just know it's an upcharge not included with the wristband. The beach boardwalk does not have many water rides, presumably because most people go in the Pacific Ocean to cool off, but there is one available in Logger's Revenge. This is a different aero log flume. Most of the layout takes place high above the ground, offering views of the water. Then the ride features just one drop. It is okay, and the resultant splash can get you soaked if you have a full boat. The final ride of note is Sky Glider. This is threefold. First, this sky ride is 2 stations, then runs the length of the park, so you can use this to get from one end of the park to the other on a busy day. Second, the views of the park and beach are exceptional. Third, the park oddly places cavemen statues on a few gondolas, which is a weird and comical quirk to see. Beyond the rides, there are also some other notable attractions. Like with Fright Walk, these are not included with the wristband, but they are still good fun and worth considering. For example, you have a massive arcade chock full of modern games. There is something for everyone in here. Then you also have a promenade with other classic amenities like bowling, laser tag, and indoor mini golf, plus shopping and a Laughing Sal animatronic. And if you like games, you are in luck here. They line the main midway, and the park recently introduced a game called Roll a Bingo that appears to be the modern-day successor to Fascination. One thing you will not find here is shows. The beach boardwalk uses all their space for rides, games, and food. Speaking of food, this park is very good in that department. The quantity and quality of the offerings is superb. You have all the boardwalk classics like pizza, burgers, and fried dough. But you also have some more unique options like clam chowder in a bread bowl, steak sandwiches, or tasty fried shrimp. And if that's not good enough for you, there are additional sit-down restaurants within walking distance of the park. The final thing to note, which may go without saying for this type of park, is that the midways do not offer much shade. That's pretty typical for a seaside park, but there are at least several indoor attractions available if you need to duck out from the sun. So do I recommend Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk? Absolutely. This honestly may be my favorite park in Northern California. It is a top-notch seaside park. The atmosphere is incredible between the setting, colors, and kinetic energy. The ride lineup is great too. Giant Dipper is a wonderful headliner I could ride all day, and the supporting cast of non-coasters gives plenty to fill out the day. Same with some of the other amenities too. And even on a holiday weekend, lines are tolerable for most attractions. How much time you'll need may depend on your interests. If you only care about the coasters, you may need just 2 to 3 hours here to get all 3 credits, but you are doing yourself a disservice if you rush through this park. I strongly recommend a full day. This gives you plenty of time to experience the deep collection of non-coasters, get plenty of re-rides, and also enjoy the surrounding area, specifically the beach. So those are my thoughts on the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, which I think is America's best seaside park. What do you think about this park? Do you like it as much as me? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.